Father's Day is a holiday of honoring fatherhood and paternal bonds, as well as the influence of fathers in both societies. It is celebrated on different dates in some regions and different states or traditions. But here in the United States, it is celebrated on the third Sunday of June. So this year, for instance, will be on Sunday, June 20th. And next year, 2022, will be June 19th, and the year 2023 will be June 18th. In Catholic countries in Europe and elsewhere, it has been celebrated in March, and particularly on March 19th, as St. Joseph's Day since the Middle Ages. And here in the United States, it has been celebrated since about 2000, in the year 1910. Actually started around 1908 or 1909, but more particularly in the year 1910, it had been established. In the US also, it was proposed by one person called Sonora Dodd of Spokane in Washington, and she used to celebrate her father. The third Sunday of June is celebrated also as International Father's Day in more than about 70 countries as a day to honor fathers and fatherhood. We celebrate fathers on this special day for what they mean to us as fathers. The question is, how do we celebrate Father's Day? On Father's Day, you can make your father a special uh, treat by making him feel special, by taking him out for a special evening or a special meal, such as an outdoor barbecue. You may plan a great barbecue with your father and cook his favorite meal and eat with him as an individual or even as a family. You may also take him out on camping and have fun games with him, games that he may enjoy. You may also go out with your father for fishing on Father's Day, and you may buy your father a special dress, suit, for instance, or a special gift, a camera, a watch, or something that you know you will appreciate. Some people say, well, I don't have money, so how can I get these gifts for my father? You may want to help the father in several ways without money. You may even draw his socks drawer and arrange the socks in it. You may want to have a special portrait of your father, you draw it and give it to him. You may also have a special game with him in the house, or you may want to give him a poem that he will appreciate, something that he will love to take. You may also have a portrait, a camera that somebody takes you and your father, and then you have a portrait for him. So there are so many things you can do for your father without money. Father's Day was first celebrated in 1972 when the US President Richard Nixon, for instance, signed a declaration for it. However, as I said, it dates back to about 1908, uh, thereabout. And then this lady called Sonora Smart Dodd celebrated it to honor her father. So Father's Day has been celebrated generally to acknowledge the efforts of fathers and to thank them for what they have done for us as our fathers, the support they have given us. When we say Father's Day, it also encompasses the idea of fatherhood. Fatherhood be somebody who is not your biological father, but fathers you or supports you as a father, plays the role of a father. So it is not only biological fathers that we celebrate. We celebrate the whole idea of fatherhood, the role parents who are fathers play in our lives, the part that they play support us, to give us all that we need in our lives. In fact, David saw God as a good shepherd king in Psalm 23, who supplies his needs. He is the Lord, he is his master, but he is also the one as a good shepherd who takes him out, and as the shepherd takes out the sheep for greener pastures and to provide them with water and all the things that they need. So David saw God as a good shepherd and a father king who gave him everything that he needed, provision, and also he restored his soul and all kinds of things that even when he was walking in the valley of the shadow of death, he saw God as the father, as the shepherd, as the one who helps him go through all kinds of challenges, sicknesses, or whatever it is, those that are threatening. So God plays a fatherhood in our lives. And I want this song, which is a Presbyterian hymn that I like most, I want to sing it. That is the Presbyterian hymn 16. Unyameni ye japa. Unyameni ye na japa. Aye kwa woni se. Ore hunami ye kra. Ofre ye baninche. Ma ye puto ye. And that is how David saw God. Yenso yehunyame se ejapa. Yenkwa ewo ne nsam. Na ofre yen ba ne nchen. Oma ye ne ehia yen. Ma ye kra butoy ne yem. And that is how David saw God as a father, as a shepherd. Se unyame yen jasa. Oma yen tie nasem. Which means that as children we must listen for the advice of our fathers. We must obey them. We must make sure that we humble ourselves before them. Senyami ye ejasa umayiti nase na mumayindi na kieda na da ye braninchen na ye yabuto ye. Sana David hunu nyame se oye japa na se oye japa sa de a na se ye ba ne nchen na ye tie nasem na ye tie nasem a ye benya abotoye mu. Then it goes on to make sure that Jesus Christ is our savior and relates Jesus to us as a father savior who has taken upon himself our sins and borne it on the cross so that we are forgiven by God entirely. And by that he reconciles us back to God. And so Jesus also plays the role of a father in the life of the Christian. Say Yesu njefo saa ene moma ye nanase moma yenyi ye mundono na yenhwe ne yie na yenya ne nkwaje. This is a Presbyterian hymn which talks about God as the Father. And then all fathers therefore are to learn of God, the way God provides for people of the world. Fathers are supposed to play the role of not only being shepherds, protecting their children, but also to provide for their needs. As I said, Janomo, ja, Ebwa, Nwoma, Won Yerenum, any Wonga, Washawasi, Emma Woni Hiawo. Today, I want to say that enye ne awawo nko ene yewaja. Fatherhood can be a father figure, somebody who plays the role of a father, the role of a biological father, by adoption or by support. Woko ye man mu se Ghana no ne abibre man mu. Obi ba eyoba. And it looks like those things are going or dwindling. But everybody must know that we are living in a community like people who are communal in Africa and in Ghana. And that is how the tradition was. Say a jebi ehunu obi ba na or misbehave or bobra bonia otumetiano say ja eti say ne papa eno na ya ade a ekire say ye nyina ye nipa ba. So we believe in the principle of communality, and that is what has been the tradition. We have good and rich cultural values and traditions that we cherish. One of it is fatherhood. Father figure for every male in a society that we can look up to for support, for counseling, for provision, and for protection. And that is how David saw God, as playing the role of a father and as playing the role of a shepherd for all humankind. Onyame yeja manipa nyina, oma awiabo emu obia, oma nsuo to emu obia, oma mframafa emu obia. And that is how people must see God as a father, and that is how it is also transmitted to us as fathers. Say yen ejanom yesua nyame se eja a ode no ho bo afore ema ne ma ne yire ene na busua se oma ye nea ehia ye da na ye de ye ho to no so a eyeye. So David saw God as the shepherd and his Lord. Se niwra se newrade na sa na eja bia esese uye ewo community a otim ufi awo ema uma eni nipa atwa ho ahia nyina, so that they can come to you to seek advice, they can come to you to seek protection, they can come to you to get important information that they need to be able to grow into civility. And if you play that role as a father, as in a paternal bond relations, then you are falling into the category of fatherhood, which is relevant, which is important, which is impacting society. Enti ena yes celebrate ejanom enye obi a wawo nko ena ewaja. Some people may not have biological children, but they can still play the role of father in the sense of fatherhood. Say omo de won ne awo onyansa onimde ebo nipa ho ban ewo wiase, ebo mofra ho ban ewo wiase, ebo nipa nimde mu ewo wiase. Enti eja obi hu se eja na chese ho onfa so ma no Ewrade LCC nipa sa kwa no so se enye ne awawo no nko e na obeye eja ma no e na nye ne awawo nko e na obeye waja. But anybody who endears himself to you as a father is your father, playing the role in the fatherhood situation, that he cares, that he is important, that he is also protective of people, and that he is making sure that whatever is given to him as a leader is kept for the good of all. Ene ejanumu bi enye saade no nti ama society esafa emofra enhu father figures pi a odo nipa ede won ho abo afore ama nipa enti no ama ayete say bebre nim how to take care of others, because they did not get this paternal bond or father figure or fatherhood figure in their lives. And in this case, you see so many people going wayward. They are not getting the guidance of fathers. They are not getting the support of fathers. Unyamwa mfi ejanum ho memma eho se won ejanum enti no wo ye ne awope wotumi etwituopo na odi kokum obi, otumi ekobokro no tumi kodi awu
because ojidi say eja bi ni ho a wohwe no esua bibi pa. This also comes to leaders. Leaders of our nations are looked upon as father figures. You may be even a female and in charge of a nation. Everybody looks up to you for the one as the one for support. Enti so your bapo na hwe o man so a won we wo mu nyina hu se o mu maame esan hu se o mu papa. Saa na wo so ye bema, wo ye president, wo ye head of state, wo ye obi a wo important position. People must see you as providing for their needs, as taking care of them, as making sure that when they come to you, they can get protection, they can get guidance, they can get provisions. Nti say oman ye do this wa na ya ye waja. Ti say de ye nyina bu onyame say eja no. Nti wo na ohwe e ma ye nsase etumi di yie. Ye nsuo etumi di yie. Ye nema enyina etumi ko yie. So if our leaders sit down for people to come from outside to destroy our water bodies in Ghana and to destroy the vital component of our lands and the fertility of the lands with cyanide and with all these bad materials that are coming into the galamsey industry to destroy our lands, they are not portraying good fatherhood figures for the nation. We look up to you as our fathers. We look up to you as our leaders. And in that sense, you are to make sure that yemano yabo ban every ananafo nsem every ensamone fo nsem ema nyese emofra nketua tumi fatuo na omo di kokum nipa said omo pe. If there's insecurity in the country, the person who is leading the country is seen as somebody who is uncaring, and fathers must be caring. Our leaders must be caring. As I say, who won't say, we feel secure. Ghana nyo maya nkase se onamwa na adwa usro. Onamwa ria usro. And so if it comes to the point where in daylight obi tumi twetwo ekokum prosini a wo boy ho ban a, then it means that the father figurehood that we have is all going. Nipa bo hu onamwa ria usro, onamwa na adwa usro, why no bambofo. David saw God as the protector, as the shepherd, as the one who takes care of him, and so he was not afraid. Omohu onimse komo ne no, onimse obenya aduane adibra ekomo ewom. He took him the sheep to greener pastures, fed them, and then gave them fresh waters and protected them. So woman also onamos owusunsuma bomumpa onsuro boni bi. If he said onimse onyame oye eja as a father one no ho. And unam Ghana usro sa am robbers bi betaki wo fie. Omo ba bekun awiakete. And so we are praying that our leaders will play the role of fathers, that we can cherish them, that we can celebrate them and say, oh yes, your leaders are you who want say fathers. That's my advice for our leaders. That's my advice for our MPs. That's my advice for our ministers. Not to go to parliament and just deliberate and talk. Are the nation seeing you, nations people seeing you as their fathers, as their protectors? Or the debating and talking about things that are not giving the people the hope of protection. If you are listening to me as leaders, I want you to know that you are also representing God in wherever you are as a father figure, so that on this Father's Day we can celebrate you. I know Ghana they almost celebrated a week ago, but International Father's Day is actually June 20th for this year. That is the International Father's Day. So it is important that we look at this critically and note that as leaders, everybody in the nation is looking up to us as a father for support, for protection, and for the provision of things that we need. Mesremo, mpanimfoɔ ahemfo nananom asɔfoɔ mu nyinaa onyame de mo asi hɔ sɛ awɛmfoɔ sɛ yɛ papa nom sɛ yɛ wura nom a yɛn celebrate mo na ɛsɛ sɛ mo hwɛ yɛ so yie boa ma ɔman no nya anigyeɛ ne abotɔyɛ mo wɔ mo ho, and so that on the Father's Day when we say we are celebrating our leaders as fathers, then we are actually indeed celebrating them, not in fear. Wodo okaa kwa moto bi betumi abefa ho no atutu afumo kwa America so the esi no ehu enye, and presidents here are also being reminded of what Nixon signed as a declaration for Father's Day. Why did he sign it? Because he saw the importance and the important role fathers play. Papa or the mofra be wiase anansi obi a will play the role of a father for everybody no must be celebrated. Nti ejanom mesre se mon hwe mo yire ne mo manom mon play that role of a father. In the biblical times, the father was not just somebody who was providing food, but was seen as the priest, as the organizer, as the head of the family, as the military commander. Father will role kese a will play as the protector of the family. Nti we can say Abraham yeja na oyeja ema ne family say osofo pon say eja ma ne family say ono okire onyame kwan oyeja ma won ne say or set moral standards. So fathers must set good moral standards for their children and for all others in society, that we celebrate them as our priests, as our people who look up to God first, and we can also look up to them as our masters, as our lords. Until we hear Father Keke, we hear Obia Nyame di wesi ho se oremfo we Nyame nipa na we de afutupa ni Nyame asem ebetete umofra ene nipa e society mu. So we celebrate the goodness of God in your life as a father. And not only that, they also selected people for war. Fathers no and onimano they are no. When it happened that Samuel wanted somebody to anoint as king, Jesse feared no koe in Bethlehem, and he brought all his 7 sons. Omunyina akese mema. Samuel said, "Onyame se nyewe," and the youngest son, who was David, was the one God picked to be the king. Also, arise, anoint him. Enti se wanhwe omu yie na Samuel antumi anya David anointing na eka Jesse man wanya bia mfirimu. How come say onyame be selected David? Because David had learned how to be a good shepherd. Or akuma a obetumi de ahwe o man no so. Nti we a leader, you are also like David, picked by God from among all people. Yato abama nti wode oba besi so se ja ema o man no a necessary nipa nyina nya ahomfa so se ja. Abusafo asem we enese bia ye to ne ma se ja ema o card ne ma poem ekeke. We are celebrating your efforts, your goodness, your love, your protection, your substance in morality. Nema yetumi hunu freja ho se wo hwe ne a eyeye. Nti nipa bebre through sabre a they call us ese eja efre kan ne mapa nyame de aye ama won se wo hunu se nyame amfa wa anye bibi ama obi a omfre waja. One appreciate you, one celebrate you on a day like this, or celebrate you as sometimes ne be proud ne ye camouflage. But the best is that one kasa obi hu se nyame de wasi ho te se osofo, nyame de ho si ho se okanifo, nyame de wasi ho se a military commander wona senka ye call wa obe pick nti se ne Jesse etumi de ne man nyina be san line no na Samuel nya David free mu no. Se sefa Ghana fo nyina san line ne nyame pick bia, you are the one to select, and you select based on sound moral principles of leadership and sound moral principles of morality, sound moral principles of protection, taking good care of your family. And yes, I will to her no bonsa a group add show them reform. Now expect to say nipa be celebrate you. No, you make effort to take care of your children and of people who are even not your biological children, but you play a fatherly role for them as it is in the fatherhood. I mean, pie one say a janum be a ja ama woma na wo ho beba mfa so ama obia or one say a ja or boa nipa eyeye. Not only your biological children, foster children or people adopted or others are almost society mu we effort to support them. Won a betumi adi wanim ama wako school, won a betumi adi wanim aboa won ama onya adwuma aye, won a betumi adi wanim ama watumi agina won aso, won a wo say na betumi aboa won tete won te say osofo. You are also a priest and a military commander and the one to set a high standard of morality for people to learn from. Wone eja I celebrate wo me kasa mama nso ma mumfa ni die ma mo eja no mumu won emfere won wa brem ho. Mother's Day ba ye di Mother's Day pa, because we know very well the attachment of children to their mothers, the breastfeeding, taking their clothes and yare no help and it's animal. But it takes a father and a mother to bring you into the world. Until you celebrate mothers, you celebrate fathers. Na mu oni emfere won. Won e kan asem a yentie. Ohun enye o papa wa wo nko no kan asem asese otie. And that's why we as Ghanaians must also listen to our leaders. The president ose galamse nya enye. Ma ye ntu ye ni nsi no so. Eni na tem ensopano. When he is doing the right thing for us, as I say, you know, tie or country as a ja, because one of them direction now, man of qua, a baby, or any penny for one man or so, no one yet. And so it goes both ways, and then more fabric more dear. Ye muye papanum, ye mum penny for ye mamma, dear nanny or